Hana, the lesson, inside story. The lesson 8 and lesson 9's inside story with my, the Anthony. Anthony, please. Hi, hi there.
Hi there.
Hi there. Yeah, let's go. Listen to my inside story. Yeah, this is the.
It's crap.
Yeah, that is place desk, but it's really black, but it's good. Yeah. The outside there are the flowers still there. Inside here the black curtain for the bedtime sleeping, but the background is really sophisticated. So God's Saving Hand Part 1. Wesley Benda pastored several villages in Malawi. The family lived in a two-room house because the area had no electricity. Mrs. Benda prepared the family meals outside over an open fire. One evening, after dinner, Mrs. Benda returned to her fire to prepare the morning meal of seja. Yes, a thick porridge of cornmeal. Her husband sat in the family's front room working on some papers. The children sat quietly waiting for family devotions, but 5-year-old Joshua had fallen asleep. As Pastor Benda lit the kerosene lamp, their only source of light, the flame sputtered because the lamp was running low on fuel. He patched the corrosion. Be careful, yeah, be careful. 들어봐, and began refilling the tank. But unknown to him, the corrosion was kerosene. Kerosene was contaminated with a small amount of gasoline. As he poured the fuel into the lamp's reservoir, the fumes caught fire, and the lamp exploded in his hands. Instinctively, Pastor Benda threw the lamp across the room, but his clothes had caught fire. Mrs. Benda saw her husband run out the door, his clothes aflame. She immediately threw a pan of water onto his burning clothes while he rolled on the ground. Soon the fire was out. The children ran out of the house screaming, "Fire! Fire!" The burning fuel had set the front room ablaze. In the excitement, nobody noticed that little Joshua was missing. Moments later, Mrs. Benda looked at the doorway and saw Joshua crawling out of the house. His clothes was burning. She shrieked and grabbed her youngest child and dropped him into a pan of water. The fire hissed and went out, but Joshua was terribly burned. Wow. Their village had no clinic or hospital, so a neighbor ran to the house of a farmer who had a car. They banged on his door and begged for his immediate help. He rushed over to drive the Bendas to the nearest hospital. Even so, it was nearly midnight when the family entered the hospital emergency room. It had been more than 4 hours since the explosion. The doctors shook their heads as they looked at the burns that the pastor and his son had suffered. Pastor Bender's burns were serious, but little Joshua was injured even more seriously. Terrible burns covered his legs, stomach, and chest. Every moment brought screams of pain from the little boy, even while the doctors worked to save the father and son. Some of the doctors tried to prepare the family for the likelihood that Joshua wouldn't survive. We are doing.
Grandma, Jaden going to doctor.
Yeah, we are doing everything we can for you, son, the doctor said gently, but he's so badly burned that it would be a blessing if he died. No, Mrs. Benda said firmly, God has saved his life. Do what you must, but God will save my son. So listen stories, inside story 1. Finish it, but I want to more know about that story. Inside go the lesson 9th inside story, second part, cry of the Kalahari. Waves of heat danced above the burning sands. A tiny black bushman strode purposefully eastward across the vast Kalahari desert, glancing frequently at a small gray cloud in the sky ahead. Sekoba was obeying instructions given to him in a dream. An angel had directed him to look for a man named William who would teach him about the true God. As the wise man once followed the star, so Sekoba followed the cloud until it stopped over a village. But when he told the inhabitants of the village about his dream, they mocked and laughed at him. That night the angel appeared again and told him to continue his eastward journey. After traveling across the desert, across the desert for nearly a month, Sekoba found Pastor William Moyo, who had been prepared for his coming through a dream. For several weeks, Pastor William taught Sekoba about God. In turn, the Bushman told a marvelous story of God's guidance. As a young man, he had felt a strong impression that he must learn to read and write. So now he was able to read Pastor William's Bible for himself. Several years now he was able to read Pastor William's Bible for himself. Several years earlier, when hungry lions were killing many cattle, he felt impressed that a higher power controlled the lions. When he prayed to this power, the lions left the area. When he heard of Christianity and began seeking God in earnest, an angel in a dream had led him to Pastor William. After Sekoba had learned the good news of the gospel, he took Pastor William back with him to tell the rest of his family and prepare them for baptism. And that is how, at the camp meeting in 1948, the first converts among the Bushmen were baptized. Wow, Bushmen were baptized. The Bushmen are a short race, averaging about 5 feet in height, who traditionally wander in small groups, gathering wild fruit and hunting. They are nomadic people who have learned to survive in the harsh desert region of Botswana. Botswana's climate is generally arid, ARID. The Kalahari Desert, which covers the southwestern part of the country, receives less than 9 inches of rain a year. For many years, these Bushmen have had contact with Seventh-day Adventists through the dedicated doctors at Kenya Hospital. In the next Inside the Story, Dr. Kenya Seligman tells of one encounter. Wow. I just expected the Dr. Kenya. So from next lesson 10, maybe 11. So thank you anyway. I have 5 minutes still left. This is really speedily go to YouTube through iPad. So why don't you, if you have iPad, please use like this, anywhere, anytime. So you can use, even you play with my grandson and just go way out anywhere. Yeah, you see this, beautiful weather. And thank you, Lord. I just heard about, if sometimes you give a miracle, give us a miracle, sometimes you give us just waiting our patience. Somebody wants to, somebody needs to kind of miracle, God show us. But somebody, if we need patience, just we make the waiting. So we don't know. He just access us the various ways. So we don't know what kind of way God just close to, drawn to you. But we just still waiting with our patience, because we are so impatient, people. So that's why. Anyway, I like the black and light. So my grandson, with my grandson, is really comfortable, way. You got it? Thank you. Bye. I love you. I love you, Gre.
I love you.
Yeah, I'm eating my father.
I'm eating
My father and my mother.
my mother.
My brother Jason.
My brother Jason.
Please,
Peter.
hopefully come soon. I'm just waiting. Jesus coming soon. Jesus also coming soon. So until that day, we just read Bible and act for others, pray for others, and rejoice and give thanks to God. Thank you.